Hello and welcome to another MySQL tutorial where we'll be continuing on with what we did the last time around. And so what we were doing is we were making our users have a much safer password, which we did through this thing right here. And as we see, Simon is wrong, as that's not what we put the password in. We put it with Alice. So let's go ahead and type in Alice right here. And our password is just 12345678. If I click on login, I'm going to get correct entry. Instead of putting correct entry for else, let's put something through script. So what we're going to write inside of here is window. So window and then dot location dot href, and so they're going to, our user basically is going to be moved to a place called, let's say, logged in .php, which we'll create later on. I already have it pre-prepared. Inside of it we're basically just going to write our correct entry, so through echo, which we'll put right here, echo. Let's just put in the same thing, which was correct entry, like so. And then we need to put a semicolon right here. And we need to close this. Now, if I go ahead, save both of my files. And then we come here. If I put Alice and then 128, if I click on login, I'm still going to get correct entry. And if I go ahead and click on login, I will be taken to my loggedin.php, which says correct entry. Now, if I were just to come into localhost MySQL 7 in the folder loggedin.php, I will just get correct entry. So this is really not a safe way. So what we need to do is we need to obviously make it a little bit safer for our users. To do this, what we're going to do at the beginning of our code, we're just going to write something called a session start, like so. And then what we're going to do for else, we're basically going to put our session right here, like so. And then inside of square brackets, we're going to write login. And inside it is going to be true, which is a boolean. So what this does, it basically keeps our true value in the history of our browser. We don't have to put true here. It can be any symbols, any letters, any words that we like. It doesn't really matter. However, for today, we're going to write our true boolean. And then in our logged in, we need to actually write session start, like so, with our brackets and semicolon. Then we're going to put something like this, so a variable with entry, which will equal to the same thing as before, which is this exact writing. So our session with login. And then we need to check it with our if and else statements. So inside of if, let's go ahead and type in something like our variable entry needs to equal true. And if it does, we're going to echo correct entry. And then we need to change this because I wrote it wrong, a typo. And for else, what we basically need to do here is we just need to put this echo right here. And then this is going to be wrong entry. And now if we are going to check this, now if I go ahead and write my Alice and my 128 password, I'm going to get correct entry. However, if I write something very random, I don't know, just these letters and numbers, if I click on login, I will get wrong entry. If you are getting any errors with your code, what you have to do here is you just need to put an @ symbol. This is just for getting any errors in your session. Just put an & symbol. Simple as that. If we were just to close this tab and then try to go in again, you see that we get correct entry. However, if I just close this tab as a whole, if I go ahead and open up a brand new window like so, and then we try to log back in to our localhost logged in, which is in, I believe, MySQL 7, and it's called logged in. If we log in from just a brand new browser page, we'll get wrong entry. What this basically means is that the session's variables are basically variables and values are basically saved up until you close your browser. To just continue our lessons, what we're going to do is we're going to create another brand new file, which we'll call admin panel, for example, and it's going to be a .php file. We're going to go ahead and open it with Notepad. Let me just minimize this real quickly. Let's copy the same thing and paste it inside. So if in the value of our session login variable is true, that means that we can write something different here. Correct entry, dear user, dear, for else we'll just keep wrong entry. Let's now try and get to our admin panel PHP. So that is localhost MySQL 7, and instead of logged in, we're going to put admin panel.php. What we see right off the bat is that we're still not logged in, as we have wrong entry. Now what we're going to do, we're going to open our login.php, which we had opened at the beginning of our lesson. MySQL 7, and this one is called login PHP. It's actually HTML, sorry. And now if we go into our data right here, so Alice and 128, and we click on login, I'm going to get correct entry. And now if we try to go to our admin panel.php, I'm going to get correct entry, dear user. And then let's do something here in check.php. If the entry is wrong, let's add in the same thing we did here. So we're going to copy this, paste it instead of wrong entry. However, this is going to lead us to login.html. So it is a redirect basically. Now let's save this. Save everything that you have just in case you forgot something. Now in our login.html, let's go ahead and put in our user. So it is, no, let's do something random, so just random letters and numbers. If I click on login, I will just be redirected to the same page but with blank fields, which is what you see regularly on other websites. We already know that we already know what we do when there's just a blank field. So just to remind you, after this print password, we're going to write if. Inside we're going to put empty, and then basically what you'll do is you'll put in the login variable inside, which you can do it for yourself if needed at any time, as we've learned this before. Now let's try and do some work with our PHP myadmin tables with our products and orders. So first of all, let's get rid of this part, and inside we're going to put our connection to the database, which is require config folder and con.php, like so. So just for trying this whole thing, let's go to our orders. Let's go into SQL, and what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this part. We're going to leave select. So you might be thinking what we did right here. So basically we're selecting from products name, so from our products table. From our products table we're also selecting price, and then from the orders table we're selecting the quantity and the price, and the selected items are going to be from our orders table and our products table. And then we need to also add in where, so we need to link them together, and we're doing that through orders, from the orders table products ID and the products table ID. Now everything is correctly written. Let's click on go, and then we have a slight error here. It doesn't need to be product, it needs to be product ID, as we just want one. Now if I click on go, I'm going to get something that looks a little like this. So from name, first of all, notebook was selected. Its price is 1,500, and if it's only one, the price is still 1,500, as this price was just for one. Now for pen, our price is 10, or whatever currency it is, $1, let's say, and the quantity is 5. If the quantity is 5, the price is 50. We have a printer, which for one, it costs 15, and if we only want one, the price is still 15, and so on. I believe this should make sense. Alright, so right here we see notebook. First of all, its price for one is 1,500. If the quantity is still 1, the price is still going to be 1,500. Next up we have pen, and in this case the price for 1 is actually 10, whatever currency we're using, so dollars let's say, and if the quantity is 5, the price will be 50. Now the printer and test are both the same, so we don't need to go over those, but I believe you understood what we're doing right here. So we're just basically getting the price of 1 instead of getting what the quantity was written as. As we see, none of this is actually grouped, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's first of all paste in what we had earlier. What we're going to do after our orders quantity is we're going to use sum, which we've used before. This should be not new for you. Inside of sum, we're going to put in our orders price, which we will cut out from here, and we'll paste it inside of sum. And then from orders, products where, and now we're going to put after our product ID group by, and then we're going to put our product's name. So if they have the same name, they will be grouped. Let's now go ahead and click on go, and we still have the same exact things. As if we look at my orders, or actually products, I don't really have a lot of things. I have notebook, printer, pen, test. Let's say if this test was also pen, these two would be grouped together. What I mean is that their prices would be added together. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our select inside of our SQL. Now we're going to add our result variable, through which we'll put our MySQL query. Go ahead and do this as well. And then inside of it we're going to keep our con and our SQL variables. If you remember, we've done this for literally every single file, so this shouldn't be hard to do. Now what we're going to do is we're going to echo a table border, so table with the border attributes basically, which will equal 1, just so we have a border like this. Then we're going to put a while variable line, which will equal MySQL fetch a sock with result. Then we'll echo our product name, orders quantity, so on. So all of these. So here is the final result. Basically what we're doing here is we're writing our table with our product's name, product's price, orders quantity, and sum orders price. What we also need to do to just make it without errors, we can take out the table names, so orders dots and products dots, they aren't needed. Let's go ahead and actually try this. So first of all, there's just a little mistake here. Instead of table I put an R,